Oh, good, 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 good. Thank you, Kasango. Tell me. You are in Uganda, yeah?
Yes, yes, I am.
Yes. I had a business mentor I worked with some years ago. She's an Ugandan lady. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Nice.
yeah. So see, let's start. Let's start. Okay,
Okay.
I normally start by asking my guests to introduce themselves and tell my audience who you are and what you do.
Oh, okay. Yes, my name is Dickens Pesa, uh, and I'm the Vice President at the Global Council for Promotion of International Trade. But I'm into also business. I run 4 different companies, 3 in Uganda and 1 in Kenya. Yes, a company, supplies and logistics, both in Uganda and in Kenya, and also into tours and travel. Yes.
Interesting. So trade. You see,
Yes.
trade is interesting and extremely important for security, stability of people, countries, and to build the economy of the country.
Yes.
You know. So see, we in Africa have been having a lot of trouble trading it with each other. You know, we have more ability to trade with outside countries rather than with countries close by, you know.
Yeah.
So I hope in the next 10 years that we will close that gap, you know, because Africa has currently 1.2 or 1.3 billion people, you know. So we need to take advantage of that population and current demography of young people, you know. So you are on the list of top 40 under 40 in Uganda.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So tell my audience more about that.
Interesting. So what this means is you, based on the contribution per sector, for me it's particularly business, and my contributions towards the growth and development of business entities in Uganda through the position I hold at the Global Council for Promotion of International Trade, and also the businesses I've been doing over the years. By God's grace, I was given opportunity to be on to that list by merit. Yes.
Wow.
So it's been a journey of over years. Started from scratch up. Most of these companies I've started from ground up to build them, and it's quite interesting to see the growth over the years. The process is interesting, challenging, lots of lessons to learn through, but once you get to appreciate them, learn through every failure, it's on a day-to-day basis. You get to appreciate life from a different point of view as a businessman.
Yeah. So now you said you have four companies, okay?
Yes.
So
yes.
Just give us a little peek into all those companies, what you do, what customers you serve, and just enlighten us.
Thank you. We have a PR company. It's called Peace and Public Relations. It offers publication services, media relations, corporate training, digital marketing services. We also do investor relations, and we also do stakeholder management and outsourcing. There are organizations that sometimes need PROs to run in their offices or location. So we also got to the place whereby we actually cover this to ensure that at least every customer need is met.
Yeah.
Yes. Over the years, we've grown to appreciate that in PR, particularly, it's about the brand. It's about the point of view you want the client to appreciate about your company. And that entails the brand values, the things that you hold dear as a company. If it's trade, what are the cores of that sector that you're looking at? So we offer it across all sectors: medical, transportation and logistics, business and trade, telecom. We cover all that scope across the different sectors. It just depends on what they want to achieve, what's their objective, and at what point are they in their growth curve. The supplies, Pearson procures, is registered both in Uganda and in Kenya. We offer public relations services. We offer procurement, sourcing, and logistics services across Uganda and Kenya. And yes, we're focusing on hospital supplies, hotels, schools, offices, and NGOs. And we're looking at different things these particular sectors need to operate on a day-to-day basis. Our mind is 5, 10, 7 years down the road, or 15 years, depending on the growth as per market approach or market adoption to what we are offering. We're looking at starting to manufacture some of these things locally. So that we create more jobs. We cut out certain supply chain things that they can easily be tapped into by local personals or citizens per country we are operating in. Yes. The other is the tours and travel. We are currently partnering with the Uganda Tourism Board. We are looking at promoting trade tourism. That's where you bring in investors. They look at opportunities in the country, but also not just to do business, but they also get a feel of what is actually happening within the city. But under that, we're also doing exchange program where we have people coming from different countries. Then as a result, they can be able to probably be attached into a sector, hotel, hospital, for them to do research or to even get a job placement somewhere. Yes, and also the typical tours and travel for people that come in for short-term period. Yes, in a nutshell, that's what we're doing in those businesses.
Wow, many different areas you're covering. You know,
thank you.
The one that interested me the most, tours and tourism. It's something that Africa needs to work on, because we want the diversity of the cultures, language, and countries is interesting to people in Africa. Okay, we need to know ourselves, okay, to appreciate ourselves. And then people outside Africa are so fascinated by these things about Africa. We actually need to dig into that, promote it, and market it. You know, yes, I get the countries are now beginning to do that, but we are late to the game. We are very late to the game, because some countries in the world rely on tourism, and they're making a big deal of it, making a lot of money, creating a lot of jobs, even though they don't have as extensive variety of things and like Africa does. You know, right now, maybe the safaris in East Africa, in South Africa are the one of the biggest tourism areas. Okay, but we still have so many things that we haven't explored at all. You know, in my mind from childhood, I look at this. There's a beach in Lagos we call Babbage. You know, I look at the road on Babbage Road. If that road extends all through from Lagos, all through to River State, you know, maybe in multiple lanes, the ocean is just there. You know, we can create. That's my, you know, my childhood view of things. You know, but I think it's doable. You know, creating a big tourism lane, thousands of kilometers. You know, and we can create a lot of interesting events all year round. Anyway, that's what I look at. You know, yes, you talked about trade. Okay.
Yes.
So tell me about the Council for the Promotion of International Trade in Uganda. How is it? It's a function. How is it going?
So far so good. It's part of it has headquarters in India, UK, and other several countries across the world. And I'm privileged to actually be the vice president of Uganda at the Global Council for Promotion of International Trade. And partly at our heart, partly what we're looking at is opportunities for entrepreneurs, linking them to other people that actually need the service or product offering, with suitable policies through the government, and then getting them access to financing so that they can leverage opportunities globally, not only within their reach as a country or as a society they're living in or staying around. So part of our role, or my role on a day-to-day basis, is looking out for who can be a proper stakeholder, who can make the business society a better place for people to trade, for investors to come in, and they're not dealing with crooks, they're dealing with the people that are going to help them actually get a return on investment. Because there are very many stories where you hear people come in and, God forbid, maybe a government official or someone gives them off an investment. But our objective is to see that even with the little they're coming in with, or the much, they're getting a return on investment, because we focus on the multiplier effect onto the person at the lowest value chain.
Okay.
How is it going to impact them? How are they going to be transformed? How is their life going to change? Is it that they're going to get to appreciate business from a different point of view, or grow probably in their income earning tier, maybe from low income to middle income over the years? So that's partly what we're looking at on a day-to-day basis.
Okay. Interesting. So your view, is it making an impact in the lives of everyday people?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So what do you see as the biggest challenges, for Ugandan trade, and what are your suggestions to address them?
I think there's several things, but I think one is going to come down to, we're very, very, very educated people. They can speak, they're eloquent in English, they have graduated, they have masters, they have degrees, but up until I think 2 years ago, or just a few years down the road, that's when the curriculum was restructured. So we had a system whereby we focused more on the theory, and you'd have graduates or graduates that would graduate from university or even leave high school. But when you put them in an actual job setting, they don't have the qualities, they don't have the business ethics, they don't have the standards that someone, even if it's a local operated company, could want to hire them. Someone at 10, 11 o'clock, they've been at office and they've not even done two things of their KPI. They are much up 1 hour. Yes. So you find that it's long term is going to affect how people are literally approaching some of these things.
Yeah.
And that plays down onto the GDP, because if an individual is not playing their role, probably in a logistics company, the very truck is going to be delayed at the border, or the driver is going to choose to sleep slightly longer. Now, the person who is supposed to buy those goods at the end of the value chain, is either going to get them at a slightly higher price, or they're going to be
delayed.
out of stock.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's one of the reasons. The education system, it's been theoretical, but the government is doing a very good job. They've been able to restructure. Has it been at the pace we thought it would have moved at? Not really, but they've already rolled out a practical approach, slightly better than what was available then. The other reason is been with mentorship through different organizations like the UN Development Program. They've reached out through innovation hubs and incubators to see that at least business people have mentorship from people that have stood ground, that have propelled themselves to start something, or even just have a business idea. Part of the issue is the mindset that when you get someone who has observed their parents or observed teachers teaching them economics or entrepreneurship or lecturers, and they carry the knowledge, you're going to get 100%. You have a first-class degree. What is the implication of that first-class degree? Are you actually just looking at the paper, or you're looking at it impacting the society? So now those are things that we as a country, we as a continent as well, I think have challenged even our entrepreneurs, that you're going to part of a question sometimes we've raised with government over the years is a foreigner is going to come in and they're going to get a 5-year tax levy or tax holiday. But a citizen starting a company locally with funds maybe from family or savings, they're going to start paying taxes right away. The next month. So you find that even the little capital they could have had is eaten up within the taxes, and that's where
the business fails automatically.
Yes. So and you do not have, at that age when you operate, when most businesses, apart from those that have either gotten incubation clubs or have been exposed to people that can take them through proper guidance, most of them don't even have the access to funding. I'm talking about $10,000 upwards, or even $5,000 upwards. So now, what does that mean vis-a-vis a final person down 5 years down the road? And I'm going to bring in an example in this. We have over the years, and I've spoken and advised a few boards on this, and you have a Ugandan. I'm giving an example of Ugandan, but I know it's also happening in other countries. A Ugandan business person, woman or youth, or man, is going to leave Uganda to Dubai or China to start trading, maybe, let's say, clothes. He has capital of $5,000. He's going to pay for a visa. He's going to pay for a hotel where he's staying. He's going to probably live there for 2 days. He's going to be transported to the airport and back. He needs airtime in that country. Now, he comes back with luggage, let's say, worth $1,500 to $2,000. The problem is paying rent, even in the country he's in, of let's say $700 or $500. He has an employee he's going to also support. He has taxes. He has the licenses that have to be met. Now, the mistake is because certain government don't leverage and advise these people that vis-a-vis you of $5,000 going to China, let people of $1 million, $10 million go have products brought to you at a slightly better price than you fly out there. Because if you do 2 or 3 trips to China or Dubai, trust me, 6 months down the road, you'll have eaten up
all the money.
At least, yes, or the biggest percentage of it.
Yeah.
Now, this means that 5 years, 2 years down the road, you'd run bankrupt.
Yeah.
So now that knowledge whereby people actually look at what can actually translate with ease and who can I tap onto so that I leverage that relationship. They have bigger capital, they can bring the product, but how do I negotiate a better offer rate? The other has been, I think, appreciating the financial system in our country, but they are working on it because we've had interactions with different financial companies on how best this can be improved. Part of the issue is access to financing. Before you are going to a bank, you're getting an interest rate of 25%. Now, 25% for a person starting out in business, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Now, you need a guarantee for you to access this money. And you also need a security, which is either going to be a car or a title land or a house. Yes. Now, when you look at a typical youth, I'm talking about Uganda being among having
the youngest
population in the world. Part of our issue is at 25.
You don't have anything.
Few people.
Yeah.
Yes, very few people have those assets.
Anything.
Yes. Some have even not even realized that position. As on a call today morning, and as advising someone seeking for a job, and they're like, "I'm stranded, but 10 o'clock, I'm still in my bed, and I've applied everywhere, and I feel I'm stuck." Now, this is a 23-year-old.
Yeah.
But if by 25 they've not gotten access to those assets, maybe in some that get opportunity to inherit or are passed on, you find that the mindset shift. That when they approach 2 or 1 bank or 3 banks and they ask them for securities, it's going to be a turn off. They may never want to associate with the banking system ever again.
Yeah.
So now that long term, it cripples the streamline because nobody's ready to stand with them as they grow through this process, because it's a process. Business is a process.
Yeah.
Some are going to hit the first deal in 1 year of operation. Others going to take 6 months. Others going to take a 2-year process.
Yeah.
But even as that is happening, how are they getting to appreciate some of these things? The other is, I think, the continual skilling process that I think the companies that are trying to do a very good job, like Google, the Google Skilling Program, whereby they're offering out programs that are skilling people year in, year out at a free cost, and also incubators. Now, these initially we had a problem. We still have it because certain people don't know about it. It's up until you send him a link or you invite him to probably a masterclass and tell him, come and actually listen in, because the information you feel you need to get you to the next level is actually being taught
for free.
At a free cost.
For free.
Yes, at a free cost. So
and they will listen.
That continual process. Because the problem we entrepreneurs usually have is, I have an idea. Maybe, let me give an example. I have a logistics and supplies company. My first thought is, I'm looking at manufacturing in 5 years and maybe supplying across the world, but break it down to an accountant. What does it mean?
Yeah.
It means rent. It means books of accounts. It means salaries for employees. It means you filing returns on a monthly basis. Break it to a human resource. It means, okay, company policy. What are the tiers in hiring How much are they going to be paid? When you come to the marketing, what is going to be your marketing strategy? What are some of the channels you're going to channel out information for clients to convert? Now, when you look at all that information, it has to be broken down across the different sectors. Now, most entrepreneurs do not actually have people around them that have been there. They're able to ask from to understand in depth, what does this actually mean? I want to probably set out to start exporting fruits to Nairobi. What does it mean? When I get to the border, what do they need? How much do they need? When I get to Nairobi, how is it? Who needs to sign onto my documentation? How is the banking system? Does it require me to have a bank? Does it require me to have M-Pesa? Now, those dynamics, and then also government intervention that, okay, yes, we just don't want to get the money from you, but how could we support you? Is it through schemes whereby we support maybe circles, a collective of 5 entrepreneurs can come and access a loan to get them from one level to another? Such things. So I've broken both what I'm seeing as challenges, also solutions.
Yes. I see. I understand all these challenges, and I like the fact that you are looking at them at the lower levels, because most of our people are still dealing with things at the lower levels. And yes, all these things are extremely important, because one, you mentioned the curriculum in school.
Yes.
See, in truth, business is not taught by school. Okay. Business is learned by practice.
Yes.
You need to try. And it's important for a young person who wants to get into business to be anchored, to anchor with somebody who is already in business.
Yes,
See,
sure.
Unfortunately, a lot of young people who want to get into business, like you said, are thinking about doing it alone. Okay, instead of saying, okay, I want to get into this business, let me look for somebody who has been doing it and anchor myself to that person, to be taught, to work for that person for 2, 3, 4, 5 years. So that in 5 years, I will be very good at it. And then I will go and do my own. See, see, mentorship is extremely, extremely important. You know, see, like you said, young people don't have the means in terms of money, the knowledge, to do most things. You know, it's if we wish to actually improve as a continent, our young people need to be mentored. It's extremely important, you know. Now, let me ask you, what opportunities do you see in Uganda that people need to start taking advantage of?
And okay, I'm going to give, there are several opportunities.
Right.
Several. Though in our last meeting with one of the heads of business advisory of Uganda Development Bank, as we organize an investment forum for investors and business people locally and international. One of it, I think we zeroed it down to 3 sectors. We're looking at one, manufacturing, agriculture, and also infrastructure, because we're looking at things that have multiplier effect.
Very good.
One of projects that are going to come in, you make the investor 3 times, 4 times wealthier or richer, and they fly then the next flight to their home country. And when you look deeply, there is no multiplier effect to the low income and to
no job creation, nothing.
Yes. So we're now part of even what I'm pushing for at the council is we're looking at what's the multiplier effect onto the final consumer of these different products. So manufacturing, we're looking at hospitals, we're looking at things that need to be done. You can imagine most of our clothes are still coming in from Turkey. They're coming in from China. These are opportunities that I think are still not tapped into. Agriculture, Uganda has the best weather, I can tell you, in Africa. I've been to Kenya, and man, today it's raining right now. It was shining 25 minutes ago. I'm very honest. And so this shows you it's in Uganda where you throw bean seeds outside your window or door,
and they grow,
blossom. Yes, with ease. So we're talking about that level of fertile soil. And which unfortunately our president is very innovative and he wants to see economic development. Though unfortunately, I think some people who are supposed to implement some of these things either incompetent, being very selective of my words, either incompetent, yes, not in a bad way, but on that one, either they're incompetent or they have not actually sought what can actually work. The problem is, and I was addressing it today morning in a meeting I had with one of the heads of one of international organization. I told them, you see, the problem is with Africa, we copy and paste most of the things. If you want to operate tourism like Dubai, understand what's the system, what is making it operate and be successful. What's the donkey work being done in the background that has gotten it to that level. You're going to see them advertising on YouTube, but YouTube is not just a mechanism that is pulling clients to them. They're going to do Google AdWords. That's not the only thing they're looking at. They have systems in place that, okay, what can attract investors? What can attract people that are coming in to tour and look at our system? So now part of what I would expect our people, or even the people in government, at all these different sectors, in your sector, you as the Ministry of Finance, you as a minister under tourism, what does it mean? What does it mean for your role to get our country to the next level? Because if we leave it to the foreigners, it's nowhere in our country, in Africa, that a foreign man has come in to actually develop any country in the world. It's not there. But it's a place whereby citizens actually have to come to a place and realize this is our strength. How do we approach, leverage it as we work on our weaknesses? So we're looking at those particular sectors because, one, agriculture, everybody needs to eat. Everybody needs to eat at every given level.
That's one thing that will never go out of fashion.
Yes. So those are some of the things we need. Infrastructure, we're now looking at the African Free Trade Area. So, but how do we as a country position ourselves in it? How do we as a people, business people, youth entrepreneurs, how do we tap into it? That 2 years down the road, because it's going to be $1 trillion economy all alone just for the continent. The upside sad part about it is most people are going to fold hands and they're not going to take advantage. And the white man is going to fly here. I'm not being racist, but
see,
a foreigner.
Now let me say something about that. Two things. First, there is nothing wrong with cut and paste. If
Yes.
if you understand the system behind, okay,
Yes.
like you said, okay,
Yes.
before you cut and paste, you need to know and understand the system that makes that thing work. It's
Sure.
very important. And then you look at your own society and say, do we have all those things? Is a society built like that society? Okay.
Yes.
So we need to adapt that thing before we paste. Okay. That's it.
Yes.
But my point is that any country that develops in the world doesn't start all the things from scratch. They
Yes,
look at the
sure.
country who have done it before, and
Yes.
they pull some things from them, and then they adapt it into their own culture and society and pace.
Yes.
Okay, that's the point. Okay, now
Sure.
the other thing you talked about, yes. See, for me, I see in 30 years, there will be millions. I'm not saying thousands. We have thousands already.
Yes.
Millions of Chinese living in Africa.
Yes.
And millions of those Chinese will have children in Africa. And most, it's possible, if we have the laws, those children will be Africans. Now, this is my point. I've always said this, we need to raise our standards as individuals, as Africans. See, what will be wrong in 30 years is that the Chinese who come to Africa, start building businesses, get to the height, majority of them will be at the top of African society. Okay. And our own people will still be at the bottom. Now, I'm not saying that the Chinese should be at the bottom, no. But I'm saying that if we see this coming, okay, and today I'm in the UK, okay, I live in UK. I've been living here for over 15 years. I love it. Okay. So I don't have any qualms with Chinese citizens today coming to Africa to do some things, help build Africa, create businesses, create jobs. Okay. But I'm saying that we as Africans, indigenous, need to look at what is going on and make sure that in 30 years, we will not be crying that the Chinese came to Africa and took all the good things. That means our communities, our government need to create an even playing field for every one of our people to succeed.
Yes.
Now, the Chinese who are coming with their money.
Yes.
Okay. So if we don't let them come, well, our development will be stunted. Okay. So if you want them to come, we need to create the even playing field for them to come, and as well as to allow our young people, like you said, young people don't have money, young people don't see. So we need, and our governments need to create all those systems that allow our young people to do what they can do at the highest level. Because what I won't do, I won't blame the Chinese in 30 years. I will not.
Yes.
I will not.
True.
Okay. Now we have the opportunity to do our own. Okay. To elevate our people, elevate our minds by reading, by studying, by learning skills.
Yeah.
Okay. Nobody is stopping us but ourselves, mostly.
True.
So that's my point, you know.
True. No, I actually agree with you.
Yeah. So you talked about the African free trade arrangement.
Area. Yes.
Okay. Now, first of all, before we go into that free trade area, what is your view about free trade in itself?
In the country or overall?
About overall, the general view of free trade. What do you see?
I think it's a very good approach.
Okay.
It's going to make more 100 years, millionaires, billionaires, and I think trillionaires.
Okay.
The question is going to be, where are Africans going to be positioned?
Okay.
In the category of that, because it's at this point that we need to look at, me as a Ugandan, what does it mean to my child? The biggest problem we find today is we don't have generational wealth.
Yeah.
Everyone, most people in my age are building wealth from ground up.
Yeah.
So the problem that creates that, even when you want to participate on the round table in the conversation of business at a free trade area, you're cut out. However skilled, there's only so much you can do if you're looking at becoming an entrepreneur. You're going to be left to work, or you work as utilize your salary or the securities you've earned to earn the trade capital.
Yeah.
Raised through financial institutions for you to execute that. And the other problem is, I think very many Africans are short-term. They don't look 5, 20, 10 years down the road.
Okay.
I'm talking about, and this is something that I think crossed my mind 5, 10 years down the road. It's good to start a local restaurant, a local food restaurant.
Okay.
But the question is that restaurant ever going to multiply?
Okay.
And have 10, 5 chains down Africa?
Okay. Very good question. Yeah.
Yes. You want to run Adobe or dry cleaners outlets. What is it going to be for you or for your children 5 years down the road?
Good. That's good.
If you are choosing to offer accounting services, are you just looking at Uganda?
Or is it going to explode? Good.
Explode. Now, if you don't examine those, you're going to find yourself in a circle and your children are going to struggle.
Okay.
2 years down the road, even after your death.
No, two generations after. Yeah, because
two generations are very far.
Okay.
Because I'm talking about 2 years into retirement of someone.
Oh, okay.
Yes, because at that point, you're looking at savings. Our education system is becoming more expensive, more than ever. But it's becoming expensive at the expense of innovation.
Okay.
It's becoming expensive with innovation, very good. If it's becoming expensive with relevancy, very good. But the problem is one is being left out in the process. Some aspects are being left out. So you'd have a graduate, a university student that, yes, they've educated them 5 years into university, but they can't go beyond Uganda.
Why?
With skill set. That's where I'm coming from, the mind.
Exactly.
At which you start with. I have friends that some run pharmaceutical businesses, they run restaurants, they run second-hand shoe collections, they run tech companies, but they've not thought out of the borders. Right now, we're in the process of registering the PR company in Ghana. Why? Because I realized when you offer the service to one of the clients, they liked our service. They're like, we're also rebranding in Ghana. Would love to have your services there.
Yeah.
Now, it's one thing, you can fly in and fly out, but it costs you much more for you to fly in and fly out. You'll make more profits, but long term, you cut out your opportunity to expand in that country. You get me? Because when you start out, most businesses, you struggle to get your first client.
Yeah.
In a market. Here you are, you're in a foreign market, you've registered, and you have a first client that is going to probably pay you your first 2, 3, 6 months employee and rent.
Yeah.
So now that mind that I can go beyond the borders, I can go beyond my local society. That's where now it's going to be for Africans. That as you're comfortable with selling pineapples in Uganda, someone in Kenya is going to think, okay, what does Uganda need most? They need Irish potatoes from Kenya. How do I get them to Kenya, to Uganda, and then get the pineapples they have across the border? Very good. It's going to present more opportunities, but those that are not quick to adopt are going to either be cut out of business one, or they cannot grow beyond particular profit margins and business growth. Yes.
So tell me, do African governments and Uganda, do they adopt the free trade position? Limited tariffs and entry and exit.
Yes. I've seen it with Uganda and Kenya and the East African community so far. What we have is working. It's just that at some point we had disputes between Uganda and Rwanda, but were resolved. But it's working very well, very, very well. Some of the issues now I have observed, because during COVID, as exporting foods and eggs beyond Uganda and Kenya, and some of the issue is the road network.
Yeah.
An example, some of the road system connecting these two places were constructed 5 years, 7 years down the road. We're still relying on an infrastructure of 7 years. The cars, the vehicles, the trucks have increased on the road. You have a lane per route.
Yeah.
This means if I'm going this side, I have one lane. If I'm going on the opposite side, I have one lane.
Yeah.
The implication on that is the time we could have spent is made twice or double, or you're going to lose 2-3 hours in the process of traveling a period you'd have traveled for a quarter of that time.
Yeah. See, I understand this. Okay. Travel.
Yes.
Is the most difficult part of Africa.
Yes.
And yes. I see. This is something that many people don't realize because of African rivers.
Yes.
Not being navigable. That was a major thing that didn't allow trade across borders in Africa for a long time ago. Okay. For a
Yes.
long time. Okay. Because in the era when there were no cars, no whatever, the world trade was done by water.
Yeah, true.
Okay. And because you can't navigate African rivers for a long stretch of time long stretch of areas,
yes,
we didn't have trade among different villages or regions and all that, you know. So now when there are trains, aeroplane, well, right now across Africa, for me, there should have been trains everywhere from Guinea to Nairobi.
Yeah.
From Cairo to Joburg, you know, but we don't have those things.
You know why that's been hard?
Why?
And I pray I don't sound anti-African government.
No, come on.
But
see,
yes.
Let me just say this. Let me just say this.
Yes.
See, we need to be honest to ourselves.
Yes.
See, until we become honest to ourselves.
Yes.
That's when we will now start finding the right solution for the right problems. Because one thing I've noticed about us is that we don't want to criticize ourselves.
True.
Okay. See,
yes,
this podcast is not to praise Africa all the time.
Yes.
It's to talk about the things we're doing and to highlight the real issues we have. If we fail to highlight the real issues we have, we will never find solutions to them. So please, please,
okay.
What you have in
so
mind.
I think our earlier on leaders, and I'm not talking about Uganda or East Africa alone, as a continent, failed our continent. And this is where I'm coming from. We focused on the democratic transitions.
Okay.
And left out the cores of the continent.
Okay.
It's good to be a president, but a president of what? It's good to be a minister of health. Are you proud to take your child in the same health sector you're representing locally? It's good to be a minister of trade, but have you even ever started a business and thrived for 2 months? It's good to be a minister of education, but what's your mindset? Have you interacted with professionals in developing curriculum? Have you even customized their knowledge to suit your economy? That's where I say they failed, because as we focused onto the independence we were given, we celebrated, danced, made national anthems, flags. We left out the vitals.
Yeah.
Africa, we celebrate for so long and fail to remember that after the celebration,
the work is there to be done.
There's going to be work to be done.
Yeah.
And it ought to be better than yesterday.
Yeah.
My take as to why I made that statement is my first expectation was we have African Union. There are things that are structured, because for me in Uganda, I'm forced to study in high school, I'm forced to read about African Union. I'm even examined about it.
Yeah.
Very good policies, very good, ambitious strategies and goals of African Union, ECOWAS, East African Community. But why have we failed? When you meet the states, the heads of states, is it that things are just discussed and walk away, having flown in maybe with a government plane with security, and we're not taking back these things to have impact onto society? Now, where they failed is they failed to leverage the different countries' strength to grow as a continent. But they focused on each individual territorial dominancy.
Okay.
And how
let me correct that. Let me correct that.
Yes.
See, they didn't even focus on their country.
Yes.
They focused. Each president at any time focused mostly on their own ethnic groups.
Yes.
And Africa has thousands of ethnic groups. See, now that diversity is something we don't talk about. Okay. See, I hear people say diversity is our strength. In truth, see, I ask them, give me 1-2 examples that the diversity has been our strength. Okay. Now, am I saying that we need to each go to our own corner? No. But I'm saying we need to start doing things to dissolve the lines of difference between each ethnic group. Okay. Because most of us still harbor that, oh, my ethnic group is this, is that. It doesn't mean anything in reality.
Yes. In addition to that, when I go to my first times in Nairobi, I was mistaken for a Nigerian.
Okay.
In Dubai, I've been stopped at the airport and they wanted to see where I'm from. On the streets of Dubai, my Yoruba brothers come to me knowing I'm Nigerian.
Yeah.
But this is where the point comes in. To the white man out there, to the Arab, to
African,
a citizen outside, to the Asian, they're not going to look into the details. Which country are you from? Some in Nigeria, they ask them, how is it, Yamin? You as a Ugandan president. Now that shows you that to them, your ethnic or country citizenship is not important.
Yeah.
All blacks are Africans.
Yeah.
Up until we appreciate the meaning of what an African means.
Yeah.
We're going to go through circles. Going back to the point I earlier stated, Libya was developed at a very, very fast stage. May the previous president rest in peace. He did a very good job, profound job. He had weaknesses as a person.
Yeah, like everybody else. Yeah.
Yes, but as a leader, he showcased the true example of what an African leader should have been. They had the quality education, they had healthcare. My problem came in that some of these other countries had oil and they could have leveraged Libya's growth in exploitation and how the model they used to develop their country.
Yeah.
Libya had a capacity to lend European countries. What does that mean for us? Does it mean that if Libya came and said, we're going to put down 20% or let's say 80% investment into your refinery in Uganda, or in Ghana.
Yeah.
And we just want to see a developed Ghana,
yeah,
or oil field exploitation ground in Africa. That after I've helped Ghana, after I've helped Uganda, I expect them to do the same for other countries.
Yeah.
Because if you can leverage your oil, Congo has some of the, I feel disheartened when I met it. It has some of the world's biggest mineral reserves in the world. And when you look through the TV interviews, when you look through the society, it breaks our heart. Because as everybody's speaking about it, the European, CNN, Al Jazeera, they're capturing what is not right with them.
Yeah.
And we are left to comment in corners of what they've spoken to us about it.
Yeah.
The question that everybody never answers is, if you find out that gold is being mined by children, what does that mean? You're going to say, don't buy gold from Congo. But if it's the only option for that child to sustain himself as an adult, as a teenager, he's going to buy it. He's going to end up in some country. It will just change routes.
You know what? See, I really want to continue talking to you about trade and the impact of trade. See, economics is a wonderful tool to understand society.
Yeah.
You know, and see, if you understand the chain of trade from person, manufacturer, transportation, all the people in the value chain up to the final stop of the trade, you actually understand everything in society.
Yeah.
See? And that's why I encourage people to learn about trade.
Yeah.
Because when you learn about trade, you learn geographies, you learn cultures, you learn all these things that are very important in society, in building a sustainable society. Kasango, tell me in a short few minutes, what do you see in Africa in 30 years' time?
Yes, I think if all is done, we found solutions to some of the things we've raised and discussed today, I think Africa is going to be the most powerful continent. And if our leaders unite, speak the same voice, agree to work together, focus on a unified Africa with one voice and one economic effort, Africa is going to be a continent whereby food is going to be availed to one another from the African market, feeding other countries globally. We will have manufacturing plants supplying things, promoting self-sustainability, because clothes, if today the shoes in Nairobi, in Kikomba, second-hand shoes, a person earns, I'm talking about 15 to 20% profit on a second-hand shoe. Imagine if it was produced locally by that brand. Coats, suits, clothes, jeans, trousers, lingerie, if they're manufactured locally, and we have the fastest growing population. They love style, they love to dress. Why should we get them out from Turkey? So the opportunities are going to be very big, enormous. The problem is going to be with, are the African leaders ready to position their citizens and economies to tap into this? Or it will pass by, because the Chinese are coming in, and when you look at some of the contracts people are actually signing to, they're not considering people down that tire 5-10 years down the road. I'm talking about people having loans of up to 50 years, 20 years,
Wow.
15 years, 10 years down the road. Now, he's a president for the next, maybe he's above 45 or he's in his 70s. When he dies, what is going to happen? That burden is going to be passed on. Today, Africa, we're struggling with policies that people made long time before we were born.
Yeah.
We're still paying debts.
Yeah.
So now their responsibility is to identify, if I want trade tourism to be the biggest thing in Africa, what value chain can I add to it? I was at Fort Jesus a few years ago, Christmas. 10 minutes into walking into Fort Jesus, I was bored. I wanted to go back to the hotel. I'm talking about, it has a beach, it has what, but our generation doesn't want the history alone. We want, what's the history with the advancement? If you tell me this is the temple he used to stay in, what additional thing can you add to it? Can people go and dive and swim? You charge them a rate on the swimming, but they're also having access to the waters to see the foundation of how people are constructing them. So now, those are value adds. If I'm going to see, let's say, lions or elephants, can it have aspects of
Kasango?
Yes.
See, a session is going to end in less than a minute. And,
Okay.
and like I told you, I need to run off to a meeting. So
yes.
Very soon, I will call you back to continue this conversation, because it's very, very interesting. So, Kasango, thank you very much for being a good guest of Think Big for Africa. Thank you.
I'm grateful.
Thank
you too.
Bye.
Grateful. Bye. Thanks.